Hi, everybody. Once again, Gaetano Conti from Solidsteel, from Solidsteel's warehouse. Today, we will take care of a speaker stand range of products, which is in our catalog since 2013. And yes, I can say the NS speaker stands, though this is the name of the range of which I'm going to talk today, has been designed by us for covering multiple selection of audiophile, hi-fi, and pro audio needs. As you can see in the background, we have a range made of 3 different models, which are mostly characterized by different lengths of these stands, which are 60, 70, and 1 meter tall. And why we decided to make this three-way configuration in our NS UCAS? Because by considering the distance from which an audio passionate is listening to his music, by considering the height from the listening point to the speaker's position in the audio room, there are different lengths which can be adopted for having a correct setup of the hi-fi system. The tallest ones, the NS 10, 10 is meaning 100 centimeters, so 1 meter, has been designed for 2 important configurations in home setups, in home audio video setups. The NS10 are perfect for being used as surround stands for 5.1 surround systems, audio video systems. So they can be very useful for accommodating satellite speakers on them, on the top plates, thanks to their very high position. And they are also very useful for those producers or audio engineers or home studio recorders who are looking for a high quality Italian-made pair of speaker stands for their equipment. And by considering their particular height, they can be very, very useful for a mixing desktop position, so that you can have in front of you, imagine this working on a mixer or on a MIDI keyboard, having the perfect height for receiving information, audio information from monitor, pro audio monitor speakers. Today, what I will do is very simple, because I will take care of a product setup, an NS7 product setup, which will be very easy to do in a few minutes, because the NS speaker stands are really intuitive to assemble. And I will share with you some information about how they are made and why we decided to make them so. First of all, the bottom plate has been designed and made in stainless steel. So we have powder coating in flat black finish, by which we can consider 4 little points welded, in which our traditional solid steel regulable spikes can be installed for dampening vibrations. And on these bottom plates, very heavy because their thickness is of more than 5 millimeters, we can screw 5 steel poles, the same finish also for these poles, of different lengths, that can be very useful for configuring our speaker stands. The top plate instead has been made in MDF wood with a thickness of 19 millimeters, which is extremely good for accommodating speakers, bookshelf speakers. And it is painted, varnished with a hand-crafted technique. So there's no laminate, it is all lacquered in flat black finish for giving to these speaker stands the best value in terms of quality, both from a technical point of view. So we are talking about efficiency in the dampening of vibrations, both in the aesthetic function, which is always very important because, of course, we are spending money for beautiful hi-fi audio video equipment, and we also want to accommodate the components in the best possible way. So first of all, thank you. Before I start, I want to thank you so much for all the big support we are receiving from you in this period, and also for watching right now this live box. And do not forget, before I start, to register to our newest new newsletter on our website, to send us email without any hesitation. If you have doubts, if you have inquiries, we can have for you a worldwide sales support, technical support, free of charge. So we are really prepared with our 30 years experience in our field to help you, to support you, to guide you to the best solutions for your audio hi-fi audiophile experiences. And also our partners worldwide in Italy are always happy and glad to support you. What I want to say is, do not forget also to follow us on our social media platforms, because if you want to receive the latest news, if you want to follow how our daily activities, that's the right place. So this is the right place. So come with me now. I will take care of the assemblance of the installation of an NS7. As you can see, I'm forgetting about one thing. As you can see here, there's a display. So we have a 606 Bowers Wilkins bookshelf speaker positioned on an S6 speaker stand. We have the LS50 Kiev in a racing red finish on the NS7. So I already assembled one. My guys, my mates in the company helped me in assembling everything. So I have also behind me in the background on the NS10 a Pro Audio monitor from RCF, which is, as I told you before, a cool solution for having monitor speakers in front of you while working at your audio mixer or whatever you want. So follow me. If you have any request, question, do not hesitate. I'm going to reply you live. So a little recap about all we have in front of us. So of course, cutter. We have those 5 steel pillars of 656 millimeters, which will be able of creating 70 centimeters in total height for the stand. We have the stainless steel bottom top plate. I'm going to show you these parts closer in a few seconds. We have the 16 per 16. It is only in this configuration, so no choices for having other dimensions of wooden top plate, timber top plate. And we have 4 regulable M6 spikes, Solidsteel spikes, and we have the screws, Allen key, and pad fix for fixing the speaker on top once the stand is installed. So before of anything, I want to show you this. So this is our stainless steel NS top plate. bottom plate, sorry. So as you can see, there are multiple welding points by which we decided to configure, to design this bottom plate for having the highest efficiency in the dampening of vibrations. This is a very important feature for us because many other manufacturers are simply making holes on the bottom top plates so that they can screw and fasten spikes. It is not our philosophy because in our technical know-how, there's nothing more efficient than having welding points in this kind of bottom plates, very heavy for what they are designed for the dampening of vibrations. So it is not a cheap solution for these bottom plates. And be sure that you are eventually purchasing high quality Italian made speaker stands. So once showed you this, I want to show you how the regulable Solidsteel spikes come from the package. Package has not been shown here because we already assembled one single NS7. So you can send us emails or check our website, solidsteel.it, for having further information about the package. It's very small. So first step, I screw the fixers into the spikes. Okay. So final result is that one. Okay. 4 of them. I leave them momentaneously on my side. I use the cutter for unpacking the stainless steel bolts, tubes. Let's call them tubes because it's more correct. And once done this step, we only have to gently, carefully unbox the tubes that I'm going to show you in 1 second in order to have them perfectly prepared for the installation. So as you can see, there are 5 of them. It's a design choice. 5. The central one is the most important because it is giving balance to the whole frame. But I want to give you this little tip, because this is little information, because these tubes are not empty. We use Stratocell all over our S-series products, exception made for the SS speaker stands, which are those ones, the most famous speaker stands on our catalog, the iconic SS speaker stands. On the NS speaker stands, we fill the inner part of the tubes by a fantastic foam, which is a sound absorbing foam. This is very important because it is not ringing, so there's a higher level of dampening of vibrations, so your bookshelf speakers can be positioned in the perfect speaker stand. So now what we have to do is simply screwing the tubes on the bottom plate. Thanks to these screws, I want to show you the 2 different ways. So we have 5 long screws and 5 short screws. The long ones are going with the top plate. So for the moment, we keep them away from our installation step. So we will dedicate our attention to the installation of the bottom. So the head of the screw goes on the rear of the top plate. And what we are going to do is simply screwing. There's no need of fasten them right now, because now is essentially important to have them in the correct position. As you can see, everybody can do it. So it's very, very, very easy. Once again, thank you so much for following our live box. It's very important for us. Your help, your attention, your contributes, your feedbacks are giving us a lot of positivity on our job, because without feedbacks, positive or negative, we can't grow. So here we are. Now we can slightly fasten, and for doing that, I use the Allen key. So this way, we fasten the tubes. As you can see, the NS is coming. So I want to show you with a closer view, the result actually. So once again, you can see also that all the screws are galvanized, so there's no risk of rust over time. It's very important for us. Also, what we insert into the tubes has the same features and characteristics. So now I use the wooden top plate. I remove the protective bag, and there's nothing to do. We only have to place the screws, this time the long ones, on the top plate. So my suggestion is to do, first of all, this process, starting from the central one. It is not going down without screwing, because we decided to make the holes very, very, very accurate on the dimension of the screws. This is always for dampening vibrations. So there's no side, so since it is a square, there's absolutely no problem in choosing the side. So we don't have to fasten this point in this step. We only have to correctly screw the screws into the tubes, so that we will fasten at the end as final step. Okay, the third, now the fourth. Much thanks also to Antonio, our video director in this case, for his precious support. So now we have only to screw the last one. Okay, we are very close to the end. So once again, we come back in the middle. We fasten everything without exaggerating. There's no need of using strength. So once it has been correctly installed, now I clean up a second the installation area because we want to keep always safe when moving. Always, I repeat this every time. Be very careful when installing Solidsteel products because our models are made of contundent tips, spikes, and in some ways dangerous parts if not adopted as needed and as suggested from our manuals. So we are now ready for the final step. The final step is the installation of the regulable spikes on the bottom, so that in this way you can purchase also protective floor discs as accessory. Because they are not included in the package at the moment. We are in October 2020. Maybe in the future they will be also included, but for now, no. Worldwide, I mean. So here it is, the NS7 speaker stand installed. It took, I think, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, approximately. My time flew away. But as you can see from here, the installation has been made quickly. So the stand is, you can hear that it is not resonating. So what we will do now is to position a pair of speakers. So always include into the package, there's Patafix. So Patafix is a kind of applicative, which can be very useful because it's almost rubber, no? So you can make little bearings, balls, and you can put them all in correspondence of the 5 top screws. So if you make 5 little bolts, why the bolts? Because when the speaker is accommodated, it is going to compress the material, and this point, this way, it is going to be well blocked and fixed on the stand. Okay. So the second CAF LS 50 is going to be accommodated. And thanks to the path fix, we can now consider the job done. So this is the final result. And yes, we decided to make a little substitution with a plant instead of a rack this time. We are always very respectful of the environment. So always remember that nature is environment is very important. And if you have any inquiries, any requests, any doubts, any feedbacks, do not hesitate to share them with us, because we are at your full, complete disposal. And I want to thank you so much once again for all your precious attention. I wish you all the best with your favorite music, and never stop to dedicate moments, time to the hi-fi audiophile, with your family, alone, with your lover, with your friends, with everybody. So I'm Gaetano Conti. Nice again of having spent some good time with you. This is Solidsteel, Pescara, Italy.